Jareditton, MegamanNG.
Hi everyone, my name is Jareditton, and we are the Secret Gamers. I am joined here today with my good friends,
Nick from Game Away.
MegamanNG of YouTube.
And we are the Secret Bosses for today. Today's subjects, or most of them will be talking about why do we play video games, some of our first gaming experiences that we remember, our favorite games, which aspects of the game we think are the most essential, and in about 10 years, where do we see gaming? So I guess I'll start off with the subject of what gaming means to me. So pretty much, or why do I play video games? Pretty much the reason why I play video games is because it really brings friends together, you know, friends, family. I mean, you guys could be having like a crazy fight or something, but you both sitting there, you play some Mortal Kombat, beat the hell out of each other, and you're best buds the next day.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of been like a huge experience, a life teaching method, and even go as far as moral teaching as well. I've been playing games since I was 2 years old, and gaming has always been in my life in some way, shape, or form. I've met all of my trusted friends through this media. So, what about you, Jose?
Well, for me, why I play video games? Because it can be for many reasons. One of them being is that it can help you unwind, help you relax, and other times you just want to find something to do because when you're stressed out and you end up doing something you'll regret, it's a bad thing.
Right.
Right.
So personally, I feel that gaming as a whole, why I play video games, to have fun, relieve stress, and sometimes to feel better about myself. Because sometimes when you have a bad day and you need something to vent, playing video games can help relieve that.
That is true.
It really can. I mean, whenever I play video games, I'm having just like a rough, crappy day or so. I'll just, just sit down, play whatever I want, like Star Fox or Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, whatever, and I'll just relax.
Sometimes it could be a way to socially interact with people you never heard of. That's why online gaming has become the national phenomenon it has been. Even past national, international. All around the world, you can play with people from crazy places you've never been to or even wanted to.
You make a valid point there. Online gaming has evolved back in the good old days with the dial-up. Remember back then, years ago, with dial-up?
That annoying sound.
Yeah, it was annoying. But nowadays, we don't have to worry about it because with the advent of wireless internet and broadband, it makes it easier.
Right.
And less of a strain.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And actually, I like the gaming now. I mean, it's even changed from even like 8 years ago. I mean, I don't know if you guys play Super Smash Bros. Or anything.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I don't know if you guys ever tried to play, look for a random match on Brawl.
Oh, no.
It would take forever. I mean, you were lucky if you got one. I never got one.
And then if you get one, it was the most horrible online experience.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, the lag was just horrendous. I remember I had a few matches with Phoenix Master 1, another YouTuber, and the lag was just so bad.
Yeah,
Nintendo
you cannot do money
online,
matches on that thing.
Yeah, whenever it lags, I cannot do crap in Smash. And I start getting my ass kicked, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm better than you." I'm like, "Bullshit!" So I guess I would say I was a little salty, but
the new Smash has improved upon the online, but still, you can encounter a lot of cancerous people.
Oh yeah.
Yes, not to mention rage quitters too.
Right, and
they're the worst.
And it's not just with Smash. With the evolution of online gaming, people have also evolved with it, and sometimes not in the good way.
I have to agree with you greatly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, recently I was playing Left 4 Dead 2, a all-time PC classic. Oh, it's so good. But I was playing with one of my friends, and we just encountered people who will purposely kill themselves or call out hordes of zombies to get us killed just for the fun of it, and then they'd leave for us to die. So it's not always a good experience, but most of the time it can be, depending on what people you play with.
Right.
Wow, what jerks.
But yeah, online gaming it's like really gotten crazy, especially with like well, you know, like a job opportunity. Well, if you're lucky and you get big, is like a Let's Player, which is, you know, a lot of gamers' dreams.
Or even a game reviewer.
Or a game reviewer, yeah.
If I may, I am both a Let's Player and a game reviewer, since I have now been part of several game companies.
Oh, nice.
Are you a Nintendo ambassador?
Yes.
That's been my goal.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
And most recently, I provided my review of Star Fox Zero, a game that has been very divisive.
Right. I did one as well. So I guess if Jeremy wants to slap that up there, for both of us, I think the controls are very divisive. It for me, in my experience, it took some time to getting used to, but once you did, it was a blast.
Yep, it was a blast, especially when your shooting can be so precise.
Right.
It's just amazing.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, that's what I'm playing right now, because on the Wii U, because my friend brought it over. We're we're about to like do, well, later after this call, we're gonna do a Let's Play of Star Fox.
You're
Zero.
doing a co-op, right? You're doing a co-op?
Wait, can you do co-op?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
One person can control the ship while the other shoots. So one person will be holding the gamepad and another one with the Wiimote.
That sounds hard. That like requires like some teamwork.
Oh, you'll probably suck at first, but once you kind of get the teamwork going and communicating with each other, it'll be a great opportunity to have some fun.
Agreed.
But moving on, what is your first gaming experience that you remember?
Pretty much, I remember my first gaming experience. I was probably like 2 or 1, and my uncle he would just play. We would just play Super Nintendo like all the time together. We'd play like Street Fighter. Let's see, Battletoads, Double Dragon. All sorts of video games and stuff. Let's see, what else do I remember? I remember my parents, they keep telling me like this one story about whenever I was like a little kid, they thought like someone was breaking in the house. Mm-hmm. But it turns out that it was just me. I was just playing Sonic the Hedgehog in the middle of the night.
Oh.
I was like, guys, my mom, dad, I'm playing video games. Like, no, Jared, go to bed.
Why? They really thought a burglar would come in and just play Sonic 1.
Yeah, actually, it was Sonic 2 because we didn't have Sonic 1 yet.
Oh man, that's actually pretty hilarious to think about. Jose, what was your first gaming experience?
So many memories. I really do mean it. So many memories dating back like 2 decades ago. I remember back when I was about like 2 years old, and I was playing. My dad actually got me Super Mario Brothers for the NES, along with the NES console. So I started playing it, and at first I started doing a little bit bad, but I got better at it. And I kept getting better and better until I beaten it. And then as time went on, I got in more games like Super Mario 2 and then Super Mario 3. Even some games that wouldn't work without the duck hunt with the zapper and along with Gyromite. And those are some good memories right there. And as time went on, I started playing other games on console at the Super Nintendo. We kept playing years later, even when the controllers were all fidgeting out with wires, messing up everything. It was nuts. Good times.
Oh, I bet they were. My first gaming memory was way back in 1996. When I turned 2 in July, my mom, who was working 2 to 3 jobs at a time, came home. She brought home a 64 with Super Mario 64. And she would be playing that in between her jobs. And eventually I caught on, and I at first I watched her. I learned the way she moved on the analog stick, and the way she played the game. Then what she remembers telling me is that I picked up the game when she went up to go get a drink or, get dinner or something ready.
Yeah.
And I was getting stars like I've been playing the game for a long time. And she noted that my hand-eye coordination was that of an adult, and it was crazy to see. So it was like I was possessed or something.
What? I just thought you're possessed?
Because I was playing so much better than her, and she used to play games all the time. And that was my first game, and I beat it when I was 2 years old. It was crazy. But
That's impressive.
Yeah, actually, you know what's crazy? Have you guys like seen like those guys that do like those Super Mario 64 runs, and they're like jumping around like all crazy and stuff?
Oh yeah, like with the glitches that they use to go through the walls or up the stairs super duper fast.
Yeah, they're like woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh yeah,
And
that's crazy.
It's fun to pull off once you get it. It's like you can never play Mario 64 the same again once you actually start speed running it.
Actually, that's
because speedrunning's a different story.
Actually,
Definitely.
well, pretty much what my friend said. He said that's probably how Mario would actually act if he was in there.
It's all those shrooms.
Yeah.
But that was my first gaming memory. I've been a Nintendo collector pretty much ever since. I have like so many games, but then again, not enough.
It's never enough.
You run out of room, but then you realize you don't have enough games either. So it's just become an obsession of mine.
You know what a bad obsession of mine has been, especially with Nintendo?
What?
Has been those amiibos.
Oh.
Don't remind me. I have amiibos up the wazoo, but I only collect Smash-based amiibos.
Yeah.
Oh, so you only have the Smash line?
Yeah, the Smash kind.
Okay.
The only exception being was Wolf Link, which came with Twilight Princess HD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, man.
I have a bunch of Smash amiibos. The only one that I don't have, even though I use them for Smash, is my Yoshi. But I think that Super Mario Yoshi looks better than just regular Yoshi.
I agree with that. Some of the amiibos are very good, and then others are just not good. Like Palutena has very big sausage hands, and every time I look at it, I just get kind of depressed.
I agree. My favorite is Roy because Roy is like so very accurate.
Right.
Same for Falco.
And when you compare Roy to like Marth, the Marth amiibo is just horrible.
I actually like my Lucina amiibo, and I think that she's like so pretty that I'm like no, I'm not gonna take you out of the box.
Oh, all of my amiibos are boxed.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm still only missing 2, and they're unreleased. So,
Dang.
I have all the Smash line except those 2. I'm still missing almost all of the Animal Crossing line because those aren't my focus. So I'll get those eventually, and I'll have my whole room covered in amiibos.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, I need to get a Shovel Knight amiibo because he looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's that Shovel Knight is the only amiibo that you can actually use while still in the box, which is pretty impressive, and it's also kind of a question about why Nintendo even thought about that in the first place.
They didn't.
It's very unfortunate because I don't want to open mine up.
It could be worse.
What could be worse than not being able to use your amiibo unless you open the box?
But there are always ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, by altering the box.
Or just moving it in a certain position where it can recognize.
Can you do that?
I've done that before once with when I went with Hyrule Warriors.
I may need to try that. It's gonna be
Yeah, I've been wanting to play Hyrule Warriors, but I don't have a Wii U, so I was just getting it for my 3DS.
Oh, the 3DS one's horrible.
Oh, are you serious? The 3DS one's bad?
Really?
I've been doing a playthrough of the 3DS one. It's not that bad. If you're playing it on a new 3DS with a 3D off, then it's actually pretty good.
But the fact is you have to turn off the selling point of the system just to be able to mildly enjoy it. And when you create a game, when you port a game from the Wii U to the 3DS, the original one plays like trash. It's garbage. Can't even hold a steady frame rate. The pop-in is way worse. It's just the normal 3DS one is bad. The new 3DS kind of improves on it, but still, the fact that you have to leave the 3D off, which is the main selling point of the console, that's a problem. And
yes, it is a problem.
Right.
I think that they shouldn't have ported it in the first place.
Right. Personally, I don't really care because whenever I play video games, I don't even put the 3D on for the 3DS.
I'm a sucker for 3D.
Well, I tried it with 3D with Xenoblade Chronicles 3D on the new 3DS, and it worked.
Right, but the developers took so much time to port that over. I think it was a matter of a developer skill. and time constraints. I think maybe time constraints may have played a part in it. Because the developers
Probably.
built a custom engine to bring Xenoblade Chronicles 3D over. So
I got to give them credit for that. That's actually pretty good.
right, and they didn't think it was going to work until Nintendo announced the new 3DS. Then they gave it another shot, and it worked, and then it came out. Of course, I'd rather play it on the Wii, but to each their own.
Hey, look at it this way. At least you can now play Xenoblade on the go, which is better.
Right, you can play it in short bursts and, likely 100% complete it, because on the
Which is
home
what I've
console-
been doing so far.
Right?
Right.
Good luck, you'll be 300 hours in.
Oh, that's nothing compared to when I did Xenoblade Chronicles X. I was like 150 hours in on the Wii U.
Oh,
Dang.
God. The ending. But that's the ending of Xenoblade Chronicles X. I just...
couldn't fathom it.
Right. Oh,
All right.
man.
So, which video game do you guys think that you've played the most out of your life? I mean, you can say by series or even just the game itself.
Platformers, for me, have been my bread and butter. Mario 64 is what got me obsessed. And it's every platformer I can get my grubby little hands on has been the games that I have been playing for a long time. When a new one comes out, I'm all over it. Most recently, I haven't been too big on the Zelda franchise until Skyward Sword. As divisive as that game may be, I actually enjoyed it compared to, let's say, Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess. But my point is, platformers are my thing.
Oh, okay. Do you have a favorite platformer or no?
My favorite platformer, I think it would be easier to say it by system, because I have each one. I have a favorite. But for 64, like Mario 64, definitely. Because it's the first game I ever played, but it's very close to like Donkey Kong 64 or Banjo-Kazooie. Rare's games are the 64 was the golden time for Rare's games.
Oh, heck
Yes, me too. I remember playing games like Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. Banjo-Tooie was twice as long
Right.
because of all the backtracking. But Banjo-Kazooie was just perfect.
It definitely was, and just to be able to 100% it and then go to the sandcastle and put in the codes to get the secret eggs and the ice key. Oh, it was great.
Good times.
But what is your favorite game, Jared?
Well, for me,
oh.
I'm more of an
Oh.
RPG kind of nut. I love RPG games, to tell you the truth. RPG games, fighting games, and sometimes a bit of a hack and slash, and free flight. There's like a lot of different games I played over the years. But no matter what, my favorite type of game I like to play are RPGs, like JRPGs.
Oh, okay. That's why you've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles X and all that good stuff.
Yeah, but back when I was younger, there was one game I would spend hours upon hours on. Chrono Trigger.
Oh, how did I know you were going to say that?
You know, I never played that game, but I've been wanting to, though.
That's a no-brainer.
Do you still have the original cartridge?
I don't have the original SNES cartridge. Makes me want to get like the DS one.
Oh yeah, the DS one. That's becoming increasingly rare. You may want to get.
Yeah, I want to get my hands on it before it gets too rare.
Right.
But still, I love RPGs a lot because it makes me want to sit down, put the time and effort needed to like get it done. Even if it was just like 1 or 2 hours, you just train, level up, complete objectives, etc.
Right. RPGs I played a lot of games as well. RPGs are kind of my least favorite because there's so many games that come out nowadays that I just don't have much time to sit down and dedicate so much time to one game.
I
Honestly,
understand that too.
Honestly, I can't blame you if so many RPGs come up. I remember back then in the 2000s, RPGs got oversaturated. Oversaturated to the point where, yeah, people weren't interested in getting playing them.
Right, and that's why, like in the 360, PS3, and Wii era, there wasn't as many RPGs because a lot of people just didn't want to play them. Sure, we got a few gems, but the majority of them kind of got obsolete or just looked over.
Yeah, and that to me is a shame.
but they're coming back. I mean, Final Fantasy 15 is huge, and Kingdom Hearts 3 finally will be getting that in a few years, maybe 2022. Who knows?
The wait for it is killing them. We've been waiting for like more than 10 years.
That's why the handheld titles
I've never actually
exist.
played Kingdom Hearts, but I've been needing to.
Oh, where have you been?
I don't know.
You missed out on a lot.
You're gonna have to play them sometime soon, because there's so many iterations, and there's so much you're gonna miss. The story is very convoluted, but once you get it, it's like, oh, this is great. This is fantastic.
Yeah, actually, I think some of my friends are gonna let me borrow theirs.
I suggest getting the Kingdom Hearts HD remasters for the PS3.
Yeah, and they're cheap too.
Very cheap.
All right, yeah. I'll look on Amazon later.
And
But yeah, I would say that my favorite type of gaming is fighting games. I don't know why. Just beating the crap out of your opponent feels so good. I mean, I first started with Street Fighter, and at first I was not into Mortal Kombat that much because the controls seem like more difficult to do instead of like now, because they're pretty straightforward. They are Street Fighter, but they seem more complicated on Street Fighter. And of course, my favorite fighting game is Smash. So there's that.
Smash is just pretty straightforward.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm like you in that sense. Fighting games have been my forte as well as platformers. I've never really been into Mortal Kombat, but Street Fighter, Smash, King of Fighters, all of that, all those other fighting games I've just been drawn to. And you're right, Smash Bros. Is very simple, but it can be definitely hard to play if you're getting into like the competitive scene, because
competitive is a different story.
Oh yeah.
It's a whole completely different world when you're playing from casual to competitive. The reaction timing, the inputs and all that stuff have to be very precise. One wrong move will mean death. So.
Exactly, especially since it's not like health or based, It's all about it's all about the percentages and like when to attack, which attacks to use, which not to use. There's like a bit of a science to it in a way.
Right, and some people even come up with plans like if they're in this spot on this part of the stage, then I got to use this set of combo strings in order to get them the max amount of damage. All of that you pretty much have to come up with either on the spot or train your butt off.
Get good.
Definitely.
Get good or go home.
That's basically true.
But ironically, because this is like the next subject that we're about to go into, my favorite game is actually not a fighting game, even though fighting is my favorite genre.
Is it Superman 64?
Yeah, it is a 64 game. My favorite video game is Banjo-Kazooie. Just straight up, just...
Oh yeah. Welcome to the club.
I mean, it's just the music, the environment. I mean, and I love Banjo-Tooie. I know it's updated more and bigger, but it's just, there's something about Banjo-Kazooie. It's just magical to me.
Banjo-Kazooie has that charm.
It does.
Especially with Grant Kirkhope as the composer. You just can't go wrong.
Yes. The music helps add a bit of environment.
Oh, yeah, it really does. I mean,
the boss battles, everything has like a comedic tone to it. Then again, it's like British humor. So...
Yeah. And speaking of Grant Kirkhope and Banjo-Kazooie, I'm actually really excited for something that they're doing.
Oh, ukulele.
Yeah, ukulele. That's what I was excited for. I'm like I'm gonna buy that game.
I backed about $620 to them, so I got the 64-bit edition.
Nice.
Prepped and ready for delivery. So, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna play the crap out of it.
Especially since Grant Kirkhope, since he's doing the music for him too,
Right, he's Grant Kirkhope, David Wise, and I forgot who the other composer is, but they're all going to be making music for it. So,
yeah, I'm like this game. It already looks promising because Microsoft killed Banjo-Kazooie and Conquer.
Unfortunately, Microsoft has a habit of not being able to adapt other developers to their what's the term? To their eyes or to their expectations. So they just usually kill them off or assign the developers to different games, aka Rare on the Kinect sports games. Unfortunately, I mean that's been the case recently, but Rare seems to be coming back with their new game. I forgot the name of it, but it's Pirates, and that's kind of like an homage to what Rare's game was going to be instead of Banjo-Kazooie. It was called Project Dream. It was going to be about pirates and stuff.
Oh,
So
Project Dream. Oh yeah, that's what Banjo-Kazooie was originally going to be.
right, and that's what kind of this is going to be, but not really. I
Right.
guess it's like they're making it a big homage to it, but who knows? Um, so what aspects of a game do you think are the most essential?
I would have to say not graphics, because I mean, you could have like the a game where you're potato climbing stairs, and it could have like the best graphics in the world, make like 4K look like shit, and it would just suck. But
Right.
you could have like a video game like Banjo-Kazooie, for example. I know I'm referring to that again, but you could have that. I mean, the graphics aren't great, but the storyline is good. The gameplay is great. So are the controls. They're solid, not stiff, but solid. And yeah, and the characters as well. They're just like so many aspects of a video game that can make it great.
I think gameplay and charm has to be the most biggest
Yeah.
things. Obviously, controls are the number one aspect of a game. 'Cause
Right.
you're not playing a video game if you're not able to control the character. And if it's not fluent, if it's not doesn't feel good to control, then you have a big problem, and that should be the first thing that you fix. But once you get the controls down, that's when I think you should create, everything else. Zelda's been successful because of that design philosophy.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. So Zelda always has good control, but I do like the Zelda. I mean, I love the Zelda franchise. Don't get me wrong. It's like probably like one of the most epic franchises ever. But it's just like I don't really exactly entirely like the control scheme. I mean, just because Link, he just feels stiff, he feels slow, and it's just I really haven't been a big fan of the Zelda series because of that.
So are you talking about like the control in general for Zelda, or is there a specific game?
Yeah, I was thinking more like Ocarina of Time, kind of. I know people
I can see that.
People will probably hate me for saying that, but it's just.
Zelda Ocarina of Time has turned from like everywhere almost everyone thinks is a masterpiece to being very divisive.
Yeah, very divisive.
A lot of people think it's still a masterpiece that holds up well, and
Yeah.
others seem like it's just not that great anymore. At the time, sure, I can agree with that. Is a very cinematic experience, but nowadays, it's just not really
Yeah.
the
I
greatest
mean,
thing ever.
I love the story for Ocarina of Time. Love the music. That's all good.
Oh yeah, Koji Kondo.
But some of the other stuff, just
I can see where you're coming from. That's why a lot of people really want them to actually remake it. The 3DS remake is okay. It kind of somewhat expands upon the art style, but the gameplay is pretty much untouched, and a lot of people have stated that's not what they really wanted in a remake. There's been fan videos of Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask in Unreal Engine 4, and that has like prompted a ton of people to get this guy to actually remake it, which I think he's doing in secret because he keeps releasing videos
right.
of various levels within the game.
So he's just using the Unreal Engine just to make Zelda feel like more like it's more you're in control more, kind of.
Yeah, he's just been remaking the levels in Unreal Engine 4 to make them look very pretty, and they do. But now he's after that, I believe he's just gonna start like tweaking the gameplay a little bit and maybe releasing it as like a playable demo, which he has recently. But I think he's going to give it a more polished version. But we haven't heard anything beyond what he's been showing off, so who knows? But
All we can do is wait and hope.
right. maybe fans will stop being so divisive on that game once this secret little project comes out. But Jose, what are the most essential parts of video games to you?
Aspects of a game that's most essential. Number one should be gameplay. Because if the gameplay for a game is precise and fun, it's worth playing. Graphics are also another thing, but it shouldn't be like too much. Because if you rely too much on graphics instead of gameplay, you're going to have a well-done game, but a game that's not many people are going to enjoy.
Right, they're just going to overlook it. I mean, take a look at Undertale. Undertale has like pretty interesting gameplay, very simplistic graphics, but people just eat it up.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's what we were just playing just a while ago, right before we got on the call.
I actually haven't played it, and I know probably the internet's going to go crazy for that. But I still haven't played it, and I don't know when I'm going to play it. I know it's interesting, and I know I want to play it sometime in the future, but I just don't feel like purchasing it right now. I've had my friends be like, I'm going to buy you a copy. And I'm like, well, I've heard the developer talk to Nintendo about maybe releasing it on their console. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
If it's physical, heck yeah, I'm going to buy it because I like physical games.
I'm pretty sure Nintendo will let them. I mean, they made an amiibo for Shovel Knight.
Right, and that would be interesting to see amiibos of Undertale characters.
That'd be cool. I get a Sans, Papyrus, and the girl from there. Those amiibos, that would be sick. That just sounds amiibo.
Oh, they would sell. They would sell more than any of the Smash line, I can assure you that.
Possibly.
If I ever do get my hands on Undertale, I'll go in purely pacifist.
Oh, are you gonna like do pacifist and I forgot
genocide?
Yeah, genocide.
No, genocide's gonna give me nightmares.
Yeah, right now we're doing pacifist, but probably later with one of my other friends, I'm gonna replay it, but do genocide mode.
Well, I hope to look forward to it.
Just kill everybody and everything in my way.
Yeah, and then everyone will hate you and the game won't forget it.
I don't care.
But beyond Undertale and the innovative games that have come out in the past 10 years, where do you see gaming in the next 10 years?
I'll have to think about this one.
That's going to be difficult for me because personally, I feel that gaming is going to somewhat evolve. And you know what with stuff like virtual reality that is now taking place, I feel that gaming is going to be like a much more futuristic take and approach. Like it'll more likely have with people having VR goggles and something, and them just having to feel like they're in the game instead of having to like sit down and playing the game with like a controller. So I feel in 10 years' time, people will still play with like controls and everything, but others just want the full experience. They want to feel like they're part of the game.
And that's why VR has become pretty much as popular as it has now. Now that the technology is there for VR, like the HTC Vive, or even though it's not considered one, HoloLens is a really big factor. And the Oculus Rift is very controversial, but that's another topic.
Yeah, that's a topic for another day.
Right.
I feel like gaming in 10 years, consoles will somewhat communicate with VR devices, but not recently, not in the more distant future, because the HTC Vive, for example, takes a pretty hefty computer to be able to run properly, and consoles just don't have that capability right now because consoles are a more affordable computer that get a lot more exclusive stuff to them.
Right.
If manufacturers just go all out and make a super powerful console, it's going to be expensive. No one's really going to purchase it. Consoles are for the more general public than what VR is. VR is for gaming enthusiasts like us. So I feel like consoles in the next 10 years will maybe have that capability once the technology is more affordable. But as of now, as of in like 5 years, it is not going to happen.
Yeah, in 10 years, I do see possibly improved graphics because, they're always improving every year, as usual.
Yeah, they're always going to improve no matter what.
Yeah, probably, new consoles, obviously. Let's see, what else? Trying to think. You know what? I'm not sure. I'm hoping a lot more really cool indie games, because indie games are big now.
Oh, definitely.
Anyone can make a video game, and you can just get famous off it. I mean, look at Scott Cawthon from Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean,
And Toby Fox.
They're making a 5th one now. It's like, just stop, dude.
Yeah, give it a rest. You don't want it to get oversaturated.
Can't stop the
Exactly.
hype train. Fans will
Though
eat that
the
up.
stuff involving creating your own games can also lead to some bad things. You know how Steam has like a massive lack of quality control.
Oh, definitely. Steam Greenlight is being taken advantage of.
Yeah, with people that have no experience and upload like games that don't have that much good quality, whereas other quality games, like games that actually have potential, end up having to wait.
Or even just get buried under the amount of shovelware that comes out because of those developers don't have that experience.
The biggest shovelware have to involve stuff with like asset flips, Unit Z, etc.
Right. I definitely, that is definitely a problem. I think is quality control.
A problem that needs to be rectified, but Steam isn't doing anything about it.
Well, they make money regardless, and I think that's why they haven't been doing anything. It's all about that greed of corporations.
Yes, greed.
Yeah, I think that the Scott's just getting greedy.
But heck, that's why Valve hasn't like come out with any true games recently. Sure, they made a few demos for the HTC Vive, but those are just demos. Those aren't actual full game experiences. I've been waiting for them to make Left 4 Dead 3 for the longest time. A lot of people have been wanting Half-Life 3, but they just don't care, it seems. They make money off Steam, so they're able to just do whatever.
At least companies like GOG have like a quality control.
Right, I wish Nintendo would use that Nintendo seal of approval and be more strict with it like they were back in the NES days.
That was back in in the late 80s,
right,
when Nintendo had almost 80% of the gaming market back in 1989, 1990. And they wanted to avoid the same messes that Atari made back then.
Right, and they wanted quality, not quantity.
Right.
So, and I feel like the Nintendo seal of approval, it's losing its strong point, which is people go into the store and look at that seal of approval and think, oh, okay, this is going to be a good game.
Right.
It turns out it's not. I think Nintendo needs to really bring the strength of that brand back in the label.
Agreed.
So, that's just my take on it.
Yeah, actually, it's weird because whenever a game is delayed, actually at first we used to be like, oh, but now we're like, thank God, just work on it because one of the Nintendo guys, I think it was, I don't remember his name, but he was like a delay.
Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah, Shigeru Miyamoto.
Shigeru Miyamoto said
a bad game is
paraphrasing
bad forever.
here. Yeah, a delayed game is eventually good, but a bad game is bad forever.
Exactly.
And that design philosophy is 95% good, but there are times when Mighty Number 9 where it's just constantly delayed for almost no reason. So,
I don't like it. And thing is, I'm part of the PR for Mighty Number 9. And these delays are just upsetting.
Oh, I agree. And especially when the Kickstarter promised that it would be out in a certain time. I get delays, but when you do this much, it's unexplainable.
It's damaging the game's
right.
reputation.
Yeah, too many delays can be bad, though.
But I feel like if you're gonna delay the game, do it for good reason. At least explain.
Yeah, give us an explanation.
Because the last time it was delayed, I believe it was because of the
online.
Yeah,
they
the
could have just
online.
released the game as is.
Yeah.
But they didn't, and I think it was more than the online that they were having trouble with.
A lot more.
Because if it's being delayed till September, like I'm reading, that's a big problem. There's no excuse for it.
You're right. There are no excuses.
So.
All right. So yeah.
But,
all right. So does that seem good?
Right. I think we've talked about everything there is to talk about.
Yeah,
in
we've
the
been
world
talking for about 40 minutes now.
Right.
Hey, I don't mind that. Trust me.
But
And you already know I already provided my feelings on favorite games, believe me.
Oh, there's a lot more to discuss, but we'll have to do that on another episode of this podcast.
Yeah, probably
Indeed.
next episode.
But that's it for now.
All right. So
we all have our own separate gaming channels. You'll see them up in the video. But if you would like to see more, be sure to keep track of us.
Yeah, go ahead and hit that little red button, subscribe. If you want to get in the conversation, you could comment, and we'll try to get back to you guys too.
And if you want to get to know us individually, we have our own Twitter pages as well.
That's true.
So they'll be in the description below.
Yep.
All right. So thank you for joining the Secret Bosses. Again, my name is Jareditton.
My name is Nick.
And I'm Jose, a.k.a. MegamanNG.
And we, the Secret Bosses, will see you next time. See you later.
Peace out.
See you later.